Todd Wente with Path to Progress this morning. I've been thinking about some pretty deep things today, and so I figured that I'd take a few minutes and just kind of share them. There's two things that I've been thinking about as I've been making my drive into the office today. And yeah, I'm in my mobile office again. Kind of like it in this thing. So the two things that I've been thinking about, the first one is where do we declare our identity? James Clear has done some fascinating work in Atomic Habits, where he talks about the idea that every day is an opportunity for us to cast a vote in favor of the identity that we want. For instance, people who get up in the morning, they go for a run, they see themselves as a runner. That makes sense. An individual who would like to see themselves as a runner gets up, goes for a run. That's casting a vote to become a runner. They may not be a runner now, but they want to identify with that. You know, we cast a lot of votes in the way that we do that. Let's stay with the runner, because I did that for a while. I wanted to be a runner, so I bought an inexpensive pair of running shoes. They were not cross trainers. They were not tennis shoes. They weren't casual shoes. They weren't kicks. They were running shoes. They were by a company that makes running shoes, and they were running shoes. And then I got running shorts. And then I got a running top, and then I got a second running top, and then I got cold weather running top, and then I went out of my way to buy all kinds of things to identify myself as being a runner. And then I ran. I ran a marathon, I ran a couple of half marathons, I ran some 10Ks. I became, for a period of time, an enthusiastic runner. But not perhaps a committed or a dedicated runner, because since that time, I've stopped running. There's all kinds of reasons why, and you know, I've been thinking about, do I want to be a runner again? I'm not so sure, because I really like being a cyclist, and I have clothing that is connected to being a cyclist, and I've got the equipment connected to being a cyclist. But I've been cycling for about 20 years, so that makes sense. That's part of my identity, being a cyclist. Recently in my car, I put up a sticker for a company that manufactures stuff that I currently am using some of their stuff, but not all of their stuff. And some of their stuff is really expensive, and some of their stuff some stuff like it I could find other places. But I put a sticker up in my car, and I feel like now I've declared an identity for being that kind of a person. Now, obviously, organizations like that, that's why they give out stickers, that's why they give out free stuff, is because they feel like if they can get that into my hands, let me put it that way, let's keep it all central to me, shall we? If they can get those things into my hands, they know that I'm more likely to cast a vote for them and their products and their merchandise in the future. Casting an identity is a really interesting deal, because oftentimes it's subtle. And I think there's a lot of times when I've cast an identity in some place that I don't even realize I've done it. I am particularly brand loyal to certain kinds of brands. And I tell myself in my head up here that the reason that I'm doing that is because I like the quality of their merchandise. I like the quality of their manufacturing. I can count on them. I like the way they look. I think they fit my lifestyle. All those kinds of things. None of that necessarily is bad. But I wonder sometimes if there are some other ways that we can cast a vote for the kind of identity that we want to have. You know, it's really easy for us to cast an identity connected to a brand, connected to merchandise, connected to things that we buy. It's a lot harder to cast an identity, to cast a vote for an identity for a kind of life that we would want to live. I see myself as a kind and loving person. And today, I was confronted with some opportunities to be kind and loving. And my initial response was to pull back from that, because it's hard. Casting a vote for an identity for a product or for a manufacturing item, it has an investment of money and dollars, but it's pretty easy. Casting a vote for the kind of person that we want to be is hard, because it takes thought, effort, changing perhaps our mindset and our lifestyle. I've talked a lot about mindset for the last little while, and that's kind of where some of this is coming from. I guess my big takeaway for myself, and my big takeaway for anybody that's watching this as well, is that when we are wanting to identify who we are, when we're wanting to create an identity, let me rephrase, keep it personal to me. As I look at ways to create an identity for myself, I'm thinking about how do I cast a vote with my daily actions in the simplest, most predictable, most consistent way. And when I find ways to do that, do I shy away from it or do I lean in? I hope today as you move forward that when you look at the weightier identity pieces that you could cast a vote for, that you lean into them more than you lean away. That's what I'm trying to do today. We'll see how it goes. Thanks very much for watching. This has been Path to Progress. My name is Todd Wente. Nulum Diem. We'll see you next time.